Just when you think your estimation of Keir Starmer couldn't get any lower, he just digs that bit deeper and manages to surprise you. Here he is stating, after all of the bluster before the election about how we have a positive future ahead of us, that things are going to get worse. Don't worry, Keir, we already know that. In an upcoming speech, Starmer is set to say there are no quick fixes to remedy the rubble and ruin left by the Tories. He's going to add that the last government concealed the true state of public finances. Now, we all know the Tory party's betrayed the country both on the economy and mass immigration, but it's not like they concealed the finances. What do you think they did? Buried them in a treasure trove and put it at the bottom of the ocean? This is all just a front so Starmer can do exactly what he said he wouldn't do in his pre-election promises and raise taxes. Starmer's also set to add that he hasn't just inherited an economic black hole, but also a societal one, and he's going to have to, quote-unquote, take action. He's going to add that people who took part in the recent riots have been able to exploit, quote, the cracks in our system after 14 years of populism and failure. What is he talking about? The Tory party had record levels of mass immigration and people completely turned against them because they weren't sounding a populist message. Now, I have to be honest, I've never really been bothered by our recent politicians, mainly because they're just bank managers for their neoliberal overlords. However, something about Starmer really does unsettle me. It's his level of intransigence and delusion, which I do find quite alarming. It's not just he has no qualms and a complete willingness to lie whenever it suits him. That's exactly why people don't trust modern politicians and why people increasingly don't trust liberal democracies. It's that he has this metropolitan liberal ideology straight out of Islington, which of course is completely out of step with the rest of the country, but it's blended with his background as a prosecutor, which kind of makes him this neo-woke Stalin figure. And like any authoritarian leftist, he doesn't seem to understand that people can be individuals, that societies can have their own agency, that culture can come from the grassroots. Instead, he views everything as coming from the top down, i.e. the state is the core power structure in society. This is why he conceptualises the problems the UK has as Tory populism. He has no understanding at all of the actual issues that have gone on the ground in the UK for the last 10 or 20 years. Henceforth, he's so delusional, the only thing he can fall back on to explain modern Britain to himself is his left-wing ideology. Multiculturalism is perfect. There are no problems with mass immigration. The only issues are the evil unbelievers who've been told to think that by the evil Tories and parties like Reform. For the life of me, I can't see why anybody would have voted Labour, but I did say a silver lining would be people would see how bad the Labour Party are, and boy, is it bad. It seems then that Starmer's mission is just to lie and enforce his way to his multicultural utopia. Of course, he's going to create absolute chaos when he does that, but as I always say, in chaos will be the rebirth for a new politics which actually works for the real people. These are just my thoughts, however. Do let me know what you think down below, and do consider subscribing to the channel.